Oh, go ahead.
No, no, it's okay.
I was gonna ask that. Is the photos, is that is the photos, is that like, that's a by itself too, isn't it?
It's to drink.
You are not.
Oh, yeah, you are not drinking.
But
Okay.
but I was saying the presentation burger, when you kind of conjugate, would it just be this by itself, you are not? Like that could be a sentence by itself.
I don't think so. I think you have to conjugate a verb with that.
Oh,
Infinitive verb,
there's
yeah.
so many instances.
Oh, There's so many rules and everything in spoken language that I'm just showing you like this much, and there's like this much, and this is just one way to do, not. So, and like I said, the reason why I show you this is this is how I learned. It helped me to learn how to do that. It's gonna be cringy all day. I know it is.
I was going to say, I think you're saying you're playing games to challenge yourself. If I remember right, I think there's a bunch of games on the app as well.
Okay.
Challenge.
Okay.
Which app is that?
It's
Is it the Mvskoke language app?
yes. So
Oh, yeah, I've been playing with that too.
Okay, so yeah, I know I play with that, but right now for iPhones, it's there's an issue that they're trying to work out. So if you don't already have it on your iPhone, you can't go out and download it yet. There's an issue. I mean, I know some people already had that app on their iPhone, and that's good. But for those of you like me who have a new iPhone and you were looking for it, it's not out there yet. But for the Android, it is. But
The games are either too easy or too hard.
okay,
Yeah.
they're too easy or they're too hard. Okay. And that's one of the things, like I was talking to Chris about, is we were looking at, doing something. Say we're going to do a cooking demonstration. Have a night where we all can come in. Somebody will show us how to make fry bread. Of course, we're going to eat that night. Somebody's going to show how to make fry bread or something, and I can release like some of the words that we're going to use, and maybe phrases, and we can sit there and try to use those words and try to use as much Mvskoke as we can. I asked Judy, our manager, is this possible? And she's like, okay, what dates and what times? And I was like, okay, so that's it. If we come up with something, it's a possibility that we can just get it done here. We just have to coordinate with the building managers and stuff.
When is our last class in this module?
Okay, so this is week 4. And then week 5 is next week, and then week 6, I think. And I don't know, was it the 9th of June? It is. That would be the last day for this module. Then we'll have 2 weeks where I'm planning and preparing, and that's when they have the language camp over there in
the Emerton.
the Emerton. So I'm going to be helping with that too. And then after that, it's going to start another 6 weeks.
So going forward,
Doing. I don't think we can do it this module. I think we can do it the next module.
Okay.
Because everything is already planned out.
Okay.
And there's boxes. That's already planned out, and for the next module, if we want to do it like at the very last, I can release all the cooking terms, and we can kind of go over them, and then we can try to get around and learn how to do make fry bread, and then try to and to use our Mvskoke words. So remember, we're all learning, and if anybody knows fluent speakers that want to come, they're welcome to come, because they can help us, in some of our pronunciations, or they can say, hey, that's not how I learned it. This is how I learned it.
And we get confused because he does
Old Mvskoke.
yeah, and when I'm trying to learn Creole, I'm like, not right.
Somebody,
He's probably more right than I am.
somebody yesterday said that the way we're learning is a different region than how he learned. So, like I said, I'm trying to show you as much as I know. and know that there's differences. And I'm not gonna say any way is wrong. I'm just saying that this is how I learned, there's how other people learned, and I'm not gonna say your grandma or your grandpa's wrong. Don't put me in that spot.
They like it, yeah, she's a big lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard Dostology was the old way to say it.
I think it's a lot.
But I just say Dolology, which is chicken, you know, so. And then we asked for, was it a rooster, and it was, Dolology Honanma, man chicken. So, you know, we're all learning together, so that's cool. All right. So I am going to go over what we went over Monday in class. And so when I teach stuff on Monday and stuff on Wednesday and Friday. I put it all together for you guys, because you guys have, a lot of you guys that come here in person, majority of you guys haven't seen it on. All right, so remember, we're doing present tense negation, second person. And the rules for present tense is no L grading. You dropped your ETV, weird, this is Humida. So if you guys have your, hand up, Humida. You dropped your ETV, you get your verb stem, you add your person marker. And since we're doing second person, it's. Because remember, first person is I. And then the third person has no person marker. Add negation, which is full or equal. Add your subject marker D. Add your auxiliary verb os, which means am, are, and is. And right here, another way, like I said, I try to show you more than one way. Humbada, to eat. You drop your ETV, you get your verb stem. You add your person marker, it. You add your negation. In this case, it's ego, because the K is the very last part of the step above it. If it was a vowel, say that is a B, then you would just add O. So right here, that's a consonant, so you add ego. Your subject marker is a T, and you add it right there. So you see that it's constantly adding on, and each add-on means something. And then at the end, you add your auxiliary verb, which is am, are, is, and as os. So the Mvskoke, Mvhayv quote os. And like I said, in Monday's class and Tuesday's classes, some people say Mvhayv quote dos. So this could be quote os or quote dos. So I know Mvhayv Barnett, I think she says quote dos. Mvhayv quote os. Okay, remember, and it's a mouthful, and I'm not gonna, it's a mouthful. Got your home, it's equal to os.
Yeah.
So you add it all, home, it's equal to os. So it is a mouthful, and you know, if you break it down, you know how to say it's. Everybody say it's. Then equal. And then D, and os. Mvhayv equal os.
What does that last word mean?
It means am, are, is. This
The last word is what? Okay.
Mvhayv, oh, okay, see, I accidentally spelled it wrong right here. Mvhayv equal os.
Oh, okay.
See, this one is from the first person. You see the V, that means I guess I overlooked that one. Yeah, I did that in another one too, and I had to sit there and I had to work it out. I'm like, oh, okay. But I did fix that one. If you guys have seen it online, I did fix it. I accidentally left the V there for I. But it's supposed to look like this with os. This is how you end up with it. Mvhayv equal os. And if, like I said, if it's hard to say it, because I know we're trying to form the sentence, you just go down home, it equal os. If that makes sense, does that help?
Yeah.
But now we know what each part of this sentence means. Eating, you are not, you not are, you are not eating. So literal translation, eating, it's, you, equal, not, os, are. So now you know what each part of that word, it's actually a sentence. Eating, you not are, you are not eating.
Maybe they're asking for it. I'm behind to go.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm behind to go. I'm sure.
Yeah. One of the things that I was talking up in at the office is they found 8 to 10 ways to say the same thing in different dialects and different order. It just, and then there's slang. Then you got slang, you know. So, all right. And I'm gonna go over a few of these so we can kind of get the feel of how we're supposed to make, I'm not doing something. Sentence. You covered up to walk. You've got, you dropped your ETV. We're adding it because we're talking about you. Add your negation, full or equal. Add your subject marker and you add your auxiliary verb. So you covered up to walk. So you, yes, you come. You add your it for your person marker. You add your equal because your negation. You add your D, the subject marker, and os. And I did it right here. I can see it now. I didn't change that part.
I wasn't gonna say.
I'm just trying to make sure you guys are so. Just get your pen and mark it down. Just change it. I'll try to make note to go and do all that, but you know, in the meantime, just mark that off. It's supposed to look like that with the os. So, and then it looks like I spelled it wrong here. So it looks like Mvskoke os. Walking, you not are, you are not walking. So remember, we went from yakabada to walk to you are not walking. So everybody say yakub. It's equal os. Yakabitsky quote os. Right. Yakabada, Yakabitsky quote os. Yabits equal os. It's equal os. I know it's a mouthful. And if it helps you, like I said, you get your pen out and you just make the slash marks where each syllable is, because when in module 1, when we did the 2 and 3 letter syllables like ja, ji, j, jo, ju, cha, you just put it in the little syllables so it'll make you remember how to do it, remember how to say it. And like I said, if you guys get stuck on pronunciation, just go back to the alphabet, go back to the 3 letter syllables that we've done, or go back, you know, and then go forward. But I think if we can actually start using these, what we're learning, that'll help us even further. Let's see. To play. So first we're just gonna jump over here. Okay, so you drop your ETV and you get your verb stem. You add your person marker, it's. You add your negation, ego. Add your subject marker, D. And you add your auxiliary verb, os. Oh, okay, I see that one too. Okay, yeah, I had this one from the last one. Okay. Akopanitsky quote os. Akopan it's equal os. Does that make sense? Does that help? So Akopanitsky quote os. Playing you not are, you are not playing. Like I said, you know, our mouth is used to doing English, it'll come. The pronunciation will come and it'll make it a little easier. And you'll get to the point eventually where you can see See, like Aquapanada, you know you drop your ETV. You know your steps in your head, you can start doing them in your head. And then you'll start being able to conjugate faster. And then while you start to conjugate faster, you can start talking to other people. We're not there yet. So don't get upset and say, I can't, you know. Because honestly, when I was starting to do this, I would sit there and I'd write all my notes and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Don't say that. You can do it. You just may not be able to do it as fast as you want to do, but you will get there. As long as you don't give up, you'll keep going. You keep going forward, you keep going forward. Because my husband will attest to the fact that I come home and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I said. I don't know what I just did. For a whole hour I sat here. And I go, you know, get something to eat, relax, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, okay. And then there's times when I come home, like, I'm done. I can't do this. Just don't give up. It'll start coming. With anything, it'll start coming, you know. And it's kind of funny because we talk about, you know, having to redo things and keep practicing. Think of when you had to learn to tie your shoe. How many times did you have to do the same thing? Mama, Daddy, how do I do this? And, you know, sometimes they did the 2 little rabbit ears. So there are different ways to do the same thing. And if one way that I show you doesn't work and stick with you, then another way that I show you, it does, use that way. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I'm just going to go through a few of these, and we're going to try to pronounce some of these. Once you start adding on and adding on and adding on, it starts to get almost overwhelming. So, but it's done. It is. I mean, and you know, you guys see me standing up here, and I've been doing it for a few years. I mess up. I'm still here. I'm still teaching. I'm still doing things. So everybody messes up. If you watch, even I was talking to Mvhayv Barnett. How many of you guys watch Zoom? All right, and you know Mvhayv Barnett? Yeah. Oh, you know her? Okay, so we'll sit there and talk, and we're talking about stuff. Sometimes a lot of times I'll sit in her class. She's like, Desiray's over there, and I'm like. No, but she'll be sitting there talking, and then she'll say something, and she stops, and she looks, and she says it again. She goes, see, even I mess up. You know, she's a first speaker. Even she messes up. So, you know, everybody messes up. All right, so whenever you mess up, just backtrack to wherever you kind of got off track, and then jump back on it. All right, for Nojida, sleep. You drop the ETV, add your person marker, you add ko or ego, add your subject marker, you add the auxiliary verb os, am, are, is, Nojida, drop your ETV, get your verb stem. Like I said, I'm just repeating the same thing in different formats. Add your person marker, it. You add ego because of the K, and that's why you add the ego. You add your T, subject marker, you add your os. Noj, it's ego os. Noj, it's ego os. Yes, noj, it's ego os. So, you know, just start up there, noj, it's ego os. So does that make it a little easier to understand how to pronounce it? Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. So right here, so just keep os. Sleeping, you are not sleeping. And I know with Mvhayv Barnett, we were talking about when would you use this? I'm thinking for a child. You're not sleeping, you know, so these are, I tell her, I said, I just want everybody to know the first, second, you know, third person. In case you guys come across it, you know, so right here, you see right here, oh, it's right here. So you know we're talking about what? First person, second person, or third person? Right. Right. My kids know. I think every kid that's grown up knows that word. My mom would just give us that look, and you know, that look, you just don't want to upset your mom or, you know, or like you said, a thump or something. And I don't know about you guys, but some of the elder women, when I was growing up, you know, they're just walking slow, and then you do something bad, they're like right there. And if you take off, they're right there. So, and I always like to talk about Yoda. Have you seen that one where he's wobbling in, and then starts fighting? Then he's like flipping and figuring out that's some of our elder Mvskoke people. You know? Did you get
This one,
is that the one that was over there?
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, anytime you need to, get your notes and just write on your notes. If you need to break it down, just make your slash marks. You know, notch, it's, and then equal, os. And so you'll start going through this and you'll start noticing that it's got a pattern. And like I said, this, you can tell it's second person because it's got the ETSK, second person. If it had the V, what would it be? First, second, and third. First person, yes. And so when we get next week, we're gonna go to third person, so it has no person marker. So you know, if it doesn't have a first person or second person, and it has no marker, then it's the third person. But we're not there yet. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. So what I have done, let's see, let me go. We'll get to these later. And like I said, I misplaced my little stick. So I've got to do it old school. All right, so. All right. This is the same thing, but like I said, sometimes colors reach people a little different. So I've got it broken down in colors. So second person of Bopanada to play, you drop your ETB and get your verb stem right here. No L grading, add your person marker, it's in blue. You add your negation, which is the purple, which is equal. Add your subject marker T. You add your os, which is the auxiliary verb, which is is. Ako Banitsky os. So I like the fact that when I show you in this format, you know what each part of the sentence is. Verb, stem, person marker, negation, subject marker, and os.
What do you mean by, no L rating?
Okay, that was in module 1. So in module 1, when we're doing something, you know, like I am eating, there was an L grading rule, but we don't use it here. So when you get a chance, go to module 1 and look at the rules for I am cooking, I am eating. There's L grading in there, and you'll understand what we're talking about. What's this no L grading? It just changes some of the things. Did that answer? Anybody else have a question?
I was wondering, I noticed that all of our main vocabulary and for consonants, is there any way that we can get an example where we change it, where the vowels at the end we get changed to the K-O or equal, we would do equal.
Yes, that was the first person. Negation, because remember, as it ends in the V, that's when we only added both. But this is the second person, and see it adds it with the K right there. That's why we add eco. But if you look at your notes, the first person that ended in V, which was one person I, that's when we use the clone.
Thanks, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I know, I didn't either. I was looking at my notes, because we have to. It's funny, you know how sometimes somebody will tell you 10 times, and like on the 11th time, you're like, wow, you've been telling me the same thing, and I just now got it. And that's just sometimes your mind's overwhelmed, and then on the 10th time, 11th time, it's like, oh, I understand it. And like I said, if you don't understand it, just keep coming, it'll start making sense. You know, slowly, surely, it'll start making sense. But I like the fact that now you know what you were saying you know, with the verb stem, the person marker, the negation, the subject marker, and the os. Ako panitsky quote os. You are not playing. So I would say that to my kids, you know, probably if they were, first of all, playing in Mvskoke. Second of all, if they were fidgeting and doing something, you're not playing, you know? And so these can be used, but they're not used very often. One of the things that she was talking about, Mvhayv Barnett and I were talking about, is, you know, you are not cooking, and you're like, well, I know I'm not cooking, you know? And I'm like, but sometimes, you know, like if a kid, you know, is doing something, you want to tell them what they're not doing. You're not playing, you're not sleeping.
Go the other way, and if your mom is yelling at you, say, whoa.
So, you know, there are situations where you will, you know, you can use this. Not saying that you're gonna use it often. All right, do you have any questions? Is it starting to think a little bit? I know.
I'm trying to still sort the other stuff. And then
Right. And that's okay. Like I said, just keep coming and it'll start soaking in and it'll start sinking in a bit. And I tried to make it a little different and a little easier by showing a template. And you guys get your templates out. Let me put it. So I would say you can get your infinitive verbs and just sit there and try to work with this template. Yeah, see, I'm not sure if I can. So let's just go through our template and let's choose to sit, legged up. And I think that might have been from module 1. But I also have it on the paper here, sentence structure, verb, legged up. So L-I-K-E, L-I-K. So L-I-K-E-T-V, legged up. Okay, and then you drop your ETV. L-I-K, like I said, you drop your ETV, so that's your verb stem. Maybe L-I-K, that's your verb stem. No L grading, L-I-K. Then here you add your person marker, it. Then you just drop that down, L-I-K-E-T-S-K, and you add your eco. Okay, let's see. And then here. Move it up, come on. Okay. So let's try new at doing all this new technology stuff. So, but you know, I also told my supervisor, I'm like, it's fun though, it's fun to learn. All right. So L-I-K-E-T-S-K-E-K-O, and then you add your T. Just drop that down, L-I-K-E-T-S-K-E-K-O-T. You add your os, and then you just put it all down, L-I-K-E-T-S-K. That shouldn't be there. That's where this goes. And then you've got your E, fort, other T, os. So it should be here. Just mark this V out. It should be equal. Yeah. It should be it instead of And then you should be able to do every single infinitive verb by just following this template. Like I said, this template, if it's printed out the way this is at, this is supposed to be it. Right here. Guys, did I lose anybody? No, okay. So if you have a template, if you have your template and it's got a V, just scratch it out and put it's because we're talking about seconds. Okay. All right. I know I uploaded the corrected version on Google, but sometimes I don't know if you've ever done Google Drive, but it'll revert to the old one. I even deleted the old one, and for some reason it's showing up as okay. So I challenge you guys to sit there and take each one of your infinitive verbs and try to do the template. And that will help you to remember the steps without having to sit there and look at the steps first. And like I said, once you start getting this done, it'll start making sense in your head. And then you'll be able to start talking, a little bit easier. Like I said, we're only at the very beginning of learning the Mvskoke language. Learning is a lifetime, but the more you practice, the more you understand. Does that make any sense? Or I know what you said. I just talked about that. Sometimes it's your mind is like, oh my gosh, it's just so much. But you've got to know. Go home, eat, take a bath, take a shower, relax. Just look at it, just like start doing one, start doing two, conjugating, and it'll start clicking. It'll start making sense. And that's why I do it as slow as I can, because I know it can be overwhelming. And in my circumstance, when I was in school, and we would have to go every day for an hour, and sometimes about 45 minutes in, my mind's like, I'm done. And I'm still sitting there, and she's talking, and my mind's like, I'm done. What are we gonna have for lunch? And I'm like, we're still good. We're still in class, But so I know what you guys are feeling. I know it's like, dang, this is a lot. This is too much. But it'll start sinking in, and that's why I do it slowly and a little bit at a time, because it does get overwhelming. And like I said, I've been there. I understand. Let's see. Okay, so when we're talking about, I know this is not cooking, and I think I had done this on Friday last time, but nojada, to cook, and that's new. I didn't put that as one of our infinitive verbs that we're learning. So this is a new one. Nojada. So I went ahead and I conjugated it for everybody. So no sage, it's equal to os. And I know that's a long thing to try to say. Let me try this. Okay. So no sage, it's. Well, let me try it again. Let me do it a different way, because that's a different way to do it all together. So no sage. It's right here. Verb stem. It's, you know how to say these. Equal os. If that helps you, do it like that. So now you know, instead of trying to just look at the long word, no sage, it's equal os. No sage photos. No sage photos. And just keep practicing. So it'll sound smoother. And like I said, sometimes instead of equal with a T, you see it like that. And it means the same thing. It's just a different way of doing it. And this is how I learned, so that's how I'm teaching. I know I see sometimes Mvhayv Barnett shows things this way. I've learned that also from CMN. So there's two ways I learned. This is the way that I'm showing it. It makes more sense to me. But neither way is wrong. So cooking, you not are. You are not cooking. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the object verb. And this is just adding on to what we've already conjugated. Let's asking, you're not cooking grape dumplings. So you see that we've already taken this step on learning how to conjugate. Now we're putting an object in front of it. So now we're making a longer sentence. That everybody good? Everybody okay? So, and these vocabularies are from module 1. So if you guys need to look on there and get, the handouts and the printouts from that. Let's go Oski, which is the grape dumplings. Like Sapmovsky, Nosejitsky, os. You are not cooking fry bread. Tafamboji, Nosejitsky, os. You are not cooking wild onions. Sakanipki, Nosejitsky, os. You are not cooking pork and hominy. So now you can say, I'm not cooking this or that, and just like when we were talking about hombida, I am eating a strawberry. So now we can start making really, really simple sentences. Does that help everybody? Is that we're starting to add on to what we know now. Like I said, that's just a small portion of the Mvskoke language. And here are some more sentences that I had made and I had conjugated as well. So, huitara, to stand, hayara, to make, hijira, to see, daskira, to jump, nojira, to sleep, yakabira, to walk, legida, to sit, litkida, to run. All right. So, and one of the things in Mvskoke language is like litkida is to run of one. To bothkida, okay, to run of two. Ifakida, to run of 3 or more. So sometimes you think you got it, and then it changes. So that's the cool thing about Mvskoke is like, it's got rules, but it's not all the rules. And when we learn like the nouns, the pronouns, the adverbs, adjectives, I was talking to one of the speakers and they're like, that's just a small portion. And then there's the rest.
How would you say run fast?
Run fast. Run fast. When you talk about it, you run fast. Right now, I'm not sure. I got to look that up and get with you, but run fast because there's so many, like I said, there's so many different things that come into play.
How about lucky?
Lupke. I think I heard Lupke before. Lupke. And what was it saying in prayer?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Puffy.
Puffy.
Puffy. Puffy. Let's see.
And then it breaks it down even further to 2 more. Quickly, pretty fast.
So that would just be run fast, and then so you would have to conjugate like I am running fast. And one of the other things we were talking about is, like in English, you just add an S. Sometimes, like I said, these change, and then I'm not going to try to blow your mind, but sometimes it changes whether it's a man saying something or whether it's a woman saying something. And like I said, that's a whole new ball game. But right now, I'm just trying to show you a little part. So a man could say, a word, and the same meaning for a woman is a completely different word. And then, like when I was doing word of the day, like for sisters, as in church, that's a completely different word than my sisters. So, like I said, I'm just trying to break it down to the easiest thing right now, and then we'll start learning some of these nuances later. You guys say we're getting into some cooking, or even if we decide we want to try to make, patchwork. I'm not saying we're going to be able to, but these are things that we could possibly do. All right, but like I said, somebody said, oh, well, if you're a man, you got to say it this way. If you're a woman, you say it this way. Kind of like in other languages and cultures, you have the feminine, masculine way of saying
Versus O.
Yeah, so, like la and law in French. La is the feminine, la is the masculine, and then same thing with, I'm not too familiar with Spanish, but I know Spanish have masculine and feminine words.
Chica is.
The feminine, yeah. So like I said, I'm just showing you just a small portion, and I know what I know, but I don't know what everybody else knows. You guys probably know different parts that I don't know. So like I said, just, we're bumping ideas and words off of each other, and, like tautology, I always heard tautology. Those are older words I was told, and one of the things I was told about wiwa and owa. Somebody told me that wiwa owa was a whole word, and then some people just said wiwa for water, and some people said owa. But I was told at one time it was wiwa owa. Kind of like soda pop. Some people say soda, some people say pop, but the whole thing is soda pop. So, these are things that happen in any language that, changes happen. All right, so here's some sentences that we had subject, verb, because we're talking about people. Istiwanaya, we Litsky os, policemen, you are not running. So I challenge you guys also, like I said, to conjugate. You've got the template to conjugate right now. So conjugate and then try to make a sentence. And at the next meeting, you got a whole week to try. I just asked you to try to and share one. And if not, that's fine. It's not, you're not getting graded. But, it would help you to learn. Do you remember our people vocabulary? This is where this is coming from. Like the fireman, the policeman, the farmer. So, Noteja, Hayitski Goat Os, chef, you are not making. Oho Fatija, Hojitski Goat Os, judge, you are not seeing. Dotka Aslija, Taskitski Goat Os, fireman, you are not jumping. Chogahija, Nojitski Goat Os, student, you are not sleeping. Chubovka Odotka, Yakabitsky Goat Os, farmer, you are not walking. Inokogi Afasta, Legitsky Goat Os, nurse, you are not sitting. Mahaya, Legitsky Goat Os, teacher, you are not running. All right, I will put these on a PowerPoint. When I get to have the speaker speak it, I will put it on there. You can hear how they say it. Like I said, I know I sound a little choppy, but at least, we know what we're saying. We know what each part of this is. And that's how your journey will come, is you will start to know what these things are. You will start to hear it in your head. But then when you try to say it, sometimes your mouth is like, nope, I check out. Just like I was talking with one of my coworkers. She's trying to say it was hot. And she goes, hi. And if you, and she was trying to say it was hot. Let's see. So it's H. But she forgot that's the A sound. And then I was just standing there smiling because I knew what she was saying. And she was like, hi. I'm like, yeah, it is hot. And I didn't say anything, and I was just standing there smiling. She was like, hey, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. She caught herself. And like I said, that happens to all of us, because I heard one of the speakers saying something. She goes, wait, that's English. And we all have to backtrack. And that's just something easy, is, just thinking English I, and then you're like, wait, Mvskoke A. Hot. So that was a really something that I thought was cool, because I got to see her get her aha moment. Aha! I realized that I caught myself in saying something English when I was supposed to be thinking Mvskoke. And then, and I used the example, like I said, totally. I heard it say totally, which is wind, totally. But there's no O sound. you know, for the O does not have that sound in Mvskoke. Oh, totally, yes, yeah, yeah. So not totally, or, you know, totally. And you can understand totally, you know, when somebody's saying that, you know what they're trying to say. But, you know, like I say, it's a difference between having an canned soup and having a robust stew that you hear and you understand all the spices in our language and the how totally. And then I don't know how many people have come across some of the elders and they're like, you said that wrong. I try not to do that. I'll just stand there and smile and see if they catch themselves, and then you know, we'll go on from there. The majority of the time, you know, they've caught themselves. And then if I need to nudge a little bit, hey, you know, the lady, then I'll do it. But I'm not gonna be rude, not gonna be mean. We're all trying to learn. And I think we got a lot of rudeness and ugliness sometimes in public schools. At least I remember me getting, no, I said no. I don't want to shock you guys and send you back to, you know, the memories of some of those teachers that I know I had. All right, does anybody have any questions? Is that starting to make sense a little bit? So we've got all of our vocabulary on the Google Drives. And let's see. Okay, I guess it's just me today. But I've also got on there one of the I think it was the template for first person. I think I also have that in. All right, so maybe it's this one. Yeah, first person, here it is. Okay. So I made a template for first person and it is in there for those of you who want to refresh and go back. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys to learn. And if you guys get tripped up, use the template. And if you guys use the template and find out that there's a misprint, just let me know and I will fix it. I'll put it in Google Drive. And like I said, we're trying to get the language cultivated in our people. So we're trying to do new things like get together and just speak. And that's in the works. If you guys have any questions or any suggestions, just write it down and give me a paper. I know Philip had a good suggestion about having a powwow. And so that's one of the things that, you know, they're talking about. Remember, all this stuff is out of my hands, but I forwarded it up and they're talking about some of these things. So if you guys have any ideas or any suggestions.
Like we didn't get to go to the spring build there this week. I was really excited about maybe doing basket weave, and that sounds really cool.
And how many would like to do basket weave and trying to learn, you know, speak Mvskoke? We can sit there and we can get vocabulary out for the event that we're going to do, and we can practice doing that while we're weaving. And I have to, you know, see if that's feasible. But you know, just write that down on the I think there's a notebook, or just write it down on a piece of paper, write your contact information, and we can see if we can get that done. So I think these are good ideas that we're coming up with to help further the language, not just sitting here me teaching and lecturing, but you guys, you know, we'll all sit there and try to speak, because I know when you learn this, you're like, who am I gonna ever use this? Where am I gonna, you know, and sometimes things don't come so fast if you don't use it. So these are good ideas. If you have, like I said, if you have an idea, write it down and I will forward it up. This is the foods that we had, and from module 1, and these are some of the foods that I had made our sentences with. This one should be, yes, this one has the one of the Mvhayv speaking the words. So this is on a Google Drive. Did you get that Google Drive?
No, I don't think I'm having issues downloading Google Drive. The lady said she'll have me get set up.
Okay, all right. But these are on the Google Drive, and like I said, I like to hear our speakers speak.
Oh, softy. A busky. Abastinivka. Paskoavki. Taklek Sakmoski. Chapkonipki. Chadahaga. Dalfambuji.
See, I like to you hear that richness, and you can tell she's she's a speaker, a fluent speaker, so. And when I get caught up in like, the R sound is, you think of and it's got that sound. So sometimes I go through and I play this and I sit there and practice with it as well. Because, anytime you can change your mind and trick your mind into saying Mvskoke, or even just, playing little tricks with yourself or games, just, get out there and do some of that. That's how we learn. All right, come on. I usually have a keyboard at work. There we go. So I just hit exit. All right, so I have, and hopefully it works today. I've had some links to share with you guys. Maybe it'll work today. Wasn't working this week. Whew. Here we go. All right. So these are on our Facebook, and Mvhayv have already done it.
Action words. Yagabida. 2, walk. Likida. 2, run. Okonaida. 2, read. Akobanida. 2, play. Nojida. 2, sleep. Ishoche Jida. 2, write. Bonayida. 2, talk. Mabuhe Jida. 2, listen. Daspida. 2, jump. Ishkida. 2, drink.
These are some of the things that are out there on Facebook. And I know we don't have all of these in front of the book, but you can hear how he's, pronouncing them. Oh, I better change. Sometimes it goes into something else. And there's brown bear on here. And like I said, this is on the Google Drive. Brown bear is on there. So I know I'm going to show my grandbaby brown bear in Mvskoke. It's kind of lengthy, so I'm not going to play it today, but it's the whole brown bear book. That's what it comes out of. And there's one about the clans. Here's the alphabet. Like I said, we're trying to get this more available to you guys through our website.
Mvskoke alphabet. The Mvskoke alphabet sounds will change when another letter is after it. Example, the C, the G sound, but if the A is added after it, it becomes ja, jadi. Jadi means red. The S sound has the P sound, but if a U is added after the letter F, Buswa. Buswa is bird. The H has the he sound, but if he was to add an O after the H, Hunna. Hunna means dress. The K has the key sound, but if we added a U after the K, and we use the word gogi, and gogi means light. A-ah. Sample words are fudgki, happy, horchka, a plant. C has the G sound. Example words, Jakibin, 5. Jimmy, you. We have a long E and a short E. The long E Sample words are ihi, means yes, or it can mean husband. Iboggin, the number 6. Then we have the short E. The sound is eh, like isti, meaning person. Inga, meaning okay. Our next letter is the F. It has the P sound. Example, Figi, heart. Boni, bone. The next letter is H that has the he sound. Example words, hithi, good. Hey, you, hot. The I has the long A sound like A, heyoji, meaning July, heikida, to groan. The K has a key sound. Example words, gotcha, tiger, you, mulberry.
All right, so those are some of the things that I have on the links for the Google Drive. And it's got L through Y. It's got also the clans, and like I said, it's got brown bear. So on Facebook, on our Facebook, we've got a lot of these little videos that if you go through there, might maybe able to help. Did you guys get a link, a copy of the links? All right, so it looks like that's all I got for you today. But I hope I'm not overwhelming you guys. I know how hard it can be. You go from English all week, all day, and then you come speak Mvskoke or listen to Mvskoke. If you guys have, like I said, we're trying to get like little groups together where we can just come in and not sit here and get lectured, but use what we're learning in our everyday speaking. It's like, you like that?
Yeah. I feel like the class is taking too long.
Well, let me just let you know, if you had it any longer, you guys can go to sleep. Because your mind would say, I'm overwhelmed, I'm gonna turn off. And then you'll start thinking, what am I gonna cook tomorrow? We're gonna go traveling tomorrow. So 1 hour is, I think, the max. But thank you. You know, like I said, I try to put some things on there, so I'm not lecturing all the time. And I try to put the templates on there so you guys can sit there and practice. Let me know if you find anything with the templates or anything that I need to change. Sometimes we're getting in a hurry and we're trying to do things and then they're like, oh, over here, do this. So, but no, who say Chiki Chikal, please. I found out and I found out that Madame Chiki Chikal, please is to one person. So Chiki Chikal, please is everybody. So, like I said, I'm learning, you guys are learning and trying to make it easier and I'm trying not to overwhelm anybody. And let's see, did everybody get a card that has their social media on there?
I got you.
Okay, so if you have any questions or suggestions, there is that phone number you need to call. All right, I know. Have a good safe weekend. Get on to the side.
Yeah, I just don't have a calendar. Set it up. I don't get out of my. That's good. That's my lady. What are you saying here? Are you saying Chris, you're ready?
Here.
You have to be crazy. I understand all that. Oh, God. So while they're saying that, there's a big rates. Right. Well, I just see how people think that. Different sound.
Let's take all the shares.
And then E.
Yeah, it had an E. I think that it might be, I'm gonna see that, that means the leg and also. They're so brave, people. That's because I'm afraid. Yeah, because I'm gonna do that. And for her.
They say that, because that's one thing people just trying to make, sounds like this, sounds like. So get lost in translation. You get her sound. Even though that's part of it. That's the last thing. And then, oh, something the end of it. Yeah. We're not looking at you, didn't try to see that. And I've been looking at the name, there to see. So the other name. At that. I'm getting tired. That's Steve. I think it's out there to do too, if you can't figure out.